Welcome everyone, this is Evelyn. I have a Metatron read, a message of the day, and the spread on the table, which is my 7-deck read for the Twin Flames. So let's go ahead first and take a deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings. Hope you're having a great day, and thank you so much for being here. Okay. So we're going to roll the die, see what's going on. Today is the 2nd of April, 2022. So we have the 2, which is the High Priestess, the Divine Feminine energy, the Mediator. Let's see what comes up with the dice. 4 Twin Flames, April 2nd, 2022, and it's my nephew's birthday. Happy birthday, Max. Here we have the, today it is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we have Saturn, so that can be Capricorn energy too. And we have the number 4, which is the Emperor, which is Aries, which we're in now. It also can be the month of April, which is Aries into Taurus. So mainly Aries, Capricorn, and Sagittarius. So we have the, again, the Saturn and Jupiter playing against each other, right? The expansion and the contraction. And then the Aries of that kickstart at the beginning of the year. All right, so here is the Metatron read first. Okay, this is the bottom of the deck right here, the underlying energies. First card out here is the red card going across, 12 cards, then 13, 14, 15, and then I go to at least to 21, and sometimes there's some extra cards, so that, and then this is the little addendum down here. Okay. All right, so the day added up to 12 today, which is the Hanging Man. So we have the Hanging Man and the High Priestess. So being wise, seeing new perspectives, and perhaps being secretive or keeping to yourself, knowing when not to talk. And this Metatron read was cut at 7:25 to 26, which is the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, along with the Chariot. There could be some fire signs traveling together today. But the bottom of the deck was Mother Earth, so that element came up, as well as water. And the first card out was red. So we had a bunch of colors today. We have red, pink, white, lilac, gold, yellow, and indigo. Okay, so did I say orange? No orange. All right, so we go from red, so we're skipping orange, red to yellow. We don't have green either, so the sacral and the heart colors are not here today, so that may be what we need to focus on. We do have indigo, but not the throat chakra. So it's like every other. And then we have a lot of, lilac, white, gold, higher vibrational energies, along with the pink of compassion. So really kind of bringing up the root. The root chakra was being called on today to actually meditate on your root chakra to see what needs to come up. And so focusing on the root and the solar plexus to clear those energies. And again, water and earth. So I started at 7:35, which is the Chariot and the Wounded Warrior. And the underlying energy was the Queen of Cups and the light body being activated. The wake-up call to listen and take note, or listen and tone as well. Cubits coming up again of grounding Mother Earth in the purple moon, or 0 point. The 2 cards, 38 and 11, came up back to back, but that's the way you would write 38 8/11 for the Queen of Cups. And then the 18 of the moon, but for me it's coming up as the purple moon, the 0-point field. And the Queen of Cups is vision being plugged in here, calling all favors in to self-love. The clarion call across the land, an announcement about the frost perhaps in the weather, where now the cold is going away and flowers are coming up. The Queen of Cups forecasting the 0-point field. The first card out is the shaman root. Again, the focus today to go through the chakras day by day, and today focus on the root of safety and security and see what kind of issues come up today regarding those issues. Sleep, strength, support, housing, safety, power, structure, all of those things. What's bothering you today? How to make peace with and reconcile your authentic self, the truth of your inner child, and that wounded warrior who's still feeling a victim at times, and the release of that kundalini energy to give it up to source. Releasing the victim with self-love and pink for compassion, the shell of the phased array again in the life bulb, which is the womb, and literally bulb is BU, and then LB, which is logarithm, which again is the word and the rhythm, to the base of 2. And perhaps that base note is Om today for the root chakra to help you feel grounded. So we have 754 of the Chariot and the Page of Swords, calling home family, Justice of the Page of Wands, getting their wish with the King of Swords, or inspiration growing as the shaman reaches out to child, and the family reunion with the King of Swords, perhaps with a message of purity and innocence, and the Page of Swords in the purple moon, while the Page of Wands may be in the womb. The bridge meets the castle, the rocket meets the ship, boy meets girl with the Chariot. Water for emotional well-being, dolphins and icosahedra, the I matter, and that ivy or continuous honoring of the diamond light filtered water crashing up against a cliff or a lighthouse at 8:01, which is the dance of manifestation and the one of the magician, where Atlas here is grounding, integrating, and mastering, or at the gym perhaps, and Atlas relates to the gym, receiving waves of love and emotions, the beacon in the storm, and filtering the love through the life bulb or the womb and the love bulb of the heart to infinitum and sudden replenishment through the mountain, which is a natural filter. Just as the light from the mountain powers up, so doth the light from within you. Send the gold light up for purification through the violet, the pinks and whites. Let's avoid the red light district for now, or going through that, right? So the womb to swoon of the heart, the tomb to moon of the 0-point field, the womb linked to the shaman here, and the heart linked to the 0-point field, leading the way in the dance, the divine feminine and masculine horizontally in the 3D, 5D, or the shaman and the extra dimensionals vertically. The 8 steps, those golden steps to answer the call, with the Page of Cups, evolution of the heart in birthing the new. The Queen of Swords, Big Bird, crossing bridges with the Carpenter Bee, and Buttercups in a giant leap with ancestors in a magic energetic exchange of appreciation and healing, joy and happiness. The big birds and the bees receiving compassion from the sea. And that could be Christ consciousness. Go with the flow 1-to-1 on the whispering bench with indigo star, whole and complete cycle. Come together for healing and remember to pause to receive. Be the message in the bottle and the shell, which is also she will. Where land meets sea meets sky meets I am. And the 1-1 of sand, which is Oni Oni, through the hourglass of time-space toroid, arcing to Big Bird, Queen of Swords, and the Bermuda Triangle perhaps with golden wings. Golden wings is go lead, and the 2 U's in anointing each other. Hermit take action with Big Bird on the beach or sand for food for thought and synchronicities, blessings and thanks, abundance, and the abundant universe coming up here. The Knight of Wands firing up passion to warm up the Page of Cups' heart to Atlas and the King of Swords, wounded warrior. Thanksgiving, remember every day, by going upstairs with flame in hand to dance with the dolphins and the plasma aqua ethers here, and the diamond light to meet with family in the sun portal, to travel to get your wish, or to see your inner child's reflection, the key to you. Compassionate action from Go lead with sun replenishment to violet castle, moon, and pink womb to your shaman roots. Again, back to the root again to clear. And Barnegat light was coming up for some reason. And it's a lighthouse, so that could be why. And then dance with wolves was coming up. Dance with wolves, twin flame. Instead of I am, as the twin flames am. Dance with wolves, twin flames, you are. At 8:28, which is the dance of the twins, and the cubit field to the clarion call, to the Queen of Cups and their Queen's 11 cubits chamber, in the fields, now being called home, after the hermit with sudden message of the Page of Wands is truth at the new moon, and justice for the Queen of Cups, and activation here, where the mother-father kind of extra-dimensional shaman energy coming up with the child, and specifically mother and son was coming up here today. And it was interesting too, because 4-2, my son was born with 4-2s. He was like it was at 420 in room 420 or 402. So there's a lot about the mother and son here today. At 4:31 is that 5 of Wands of conflict and battles and chaos, but also it's games and fun and acting and the pursuit of happiness. So I did a meditation after this read to see if there's anything more that was coming up for you guys, and it ended up being a significant meditation for me. I don't know how many messages I have for you guys, but I was getting a lot of colors coming up. The first colors that came up was the emerald with like a peacock blue, which is beautiful together. And it was really interesting because I was noticing, like when the air conditioning went on, how it would distort the color completely into grays. So to be really aware of what's going on in your environment and how it disrupts your energy field. I then was seeing the emerald and violet to indigo colors, or that purple and green color. And then what was most prevalent here was the peaches and pinks coming up, which I always get a lot of compassion with that color. But especially I was listening to dolphin sounds, and I think that's why the peaches and pinks were coming up with a yellow background. So it wasn't gold. It was yellow to goldish color, but not the sparkly gold, but just the gold color. With a lot of pink and peach like kind of blotches around, and somewhat structured in circles like a mandala, but it kept coming up throughout my meditation, and I meditated probably for about an hour. What was it? Yeah, almost an hour, or a little more than an hour actually. So pinks and peaches, and so the first thing I saw in my meditation was Washington coming up. So literally the President Washington, the first president of the United States. And then at first I thought the pink and peach was relating to him, but later he came up outlined in emerald, so that wasn't him. It was literally the dolphin sounds that I was listening to, the peach, pink, and yellow. And then Mount Rushmore was coming up with Washington as well, and a little blip of Lincoln too, which is funny because when I went online, I saw the old picture from last year, the year before, of Trump putting his face up against Lincoln's picture on the mountain. And then I saw the unicorn was kind of like chasing after the horse, but it's like to light a fire under them so they'd cross the bridge. So there's this energy of the unicorn and the horse coming into, the finish line over the bridge. And then I literally was seeing them hitting like baseball and hitting a home run, but the dark energies kept jumping up in the outfield and getting the balls. But one got by them, and it was a big grand slam, went way out of the park. And then I thought I was seeing the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower, but when it turned forward to me, because I was seeing it from the side, it was more of a church with a steeple. And I was wondering what that related to, perhaps regarding Washington. I also saw a man in the rearview mirror watching me, and lots of beautiful angelic female faces were coming up. And of course, I was getting a lot of connection from my twin. And then a little bit of Einstein came up as well. And he looked really old and rickety. But I went to go into astral travel, and I couldn't get to the field. They wouldn't let me go into the field today. But I was getting a lot of color and connection. The clairsentient connection was really strong today. So I went online to see what things came up in the news that came up in my meditation for you guys. And the first thing that came up, of course, was the Pope's headline denouncing the Savage War. And the Pope came up for me, and I think in the 7-deck read today, unless it came up for me yesterday, I just forget. but it was just came up quickly, but it was coming up again here. So I looked up Washington to see what was coming up, and the first entry in Wikipedia was named for George Washington. So the Washington state was, literally named for George Washington, and their seal is George Washington's picture. So it was a picture with teal color behind him, and then the outer circle was yellow. So there's that blue and yellows coming up, or the aqua yellow, which can represent the aqua gold of the high heart energy. And that was in 1889, the seal of the state of Washington, which has 7.6 million, so 76 of the birthday of the United States. And then the altitude was 520, which is 0 behind the 52 of the Queen of Swords, of the Woman of Light. Mount St. Helens came up as notable, as well as Mount Constitution. And then that it's called the Evergreen State. Mount Rainier is, of course, it's the highest peak in the U.S. St. Helens erupted in 1980. It was the deadliest and caused the most damage in U.S. history of all eruptions from volcanoes. Washington's also the leading producer of apples, and it's the home of Starbucks. And the capital is Olympic, or is it Olympia? And their motto is "By and By." So, of course, George Washington himself came up here. April 30th, 1789, from whitehouse.gov. George Washington, on the balcony of the Federal Hill on Wall Street, New York, took his oath that day on April 30th, 1789, as the first president. And this is what he was quoted as saying: "As the first of everything in our situation will serve to establish a precedent," he wrote to James Madison. "It is devoutly wished on my part that these precedents may be fixed on true principles." And in 1732, he was raised as a Virginian gentleman. He became a prime mover in the steps leading up to the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia in 1787. And once the Constitution was ratified, the Electoral College unanimously elected him president. He was not swayed by Thomas Jefferson's pro-French or Alexander Hamilton's pro-British, and insisted upon a neutral course until the U.S. could grow stronger. To his disappointment, two parties were developing by the end of his first term. Getting weary of politics and feeling old, he retired at the end of his second term, and in his farewell address, he urged his countrymen to forswear excessive party spirit and geographical distinctions or separations. In foreign affairs, he warned against long-term alliances. He died 3 years later at Mount Vernon from a throat infection on December 14, 1799. And for months, the nation mourned him, it was quoted. Some of the other stuff that just came up was the news about, they're not allowing any fireworks at Mount Rushmore because it's too dangerous, regarding brush fires. And also on 3/3/22, a mural memorial was posted, the Black Mount Rushmore, the mural by Reginald Adams, and this is at the Houston's Breakfast Club. And also what came up on April 1st, so yesterday, because I looked up Liberty to see if anything came up with the Liberty, Statue of Liberty. The First Liberty churches returned to normal in-person services now, and then they were quoting their landmark victory on the Fire Christian Church versus Fisher, the legal shot heard around the country in 2020 when they first disallowed people from having gatherings. 2020, this church in Louisville, Kentucky, just days before Easter, a service was planned, and in order to avoid contact, they planned a drive-in service, so everybody would be in their separate cars. But then the mayor criminalized all gatherings 2 days later, and an emergent injunction was filed by their attorney. They triumphed the day before Easter, so that was like a big stepping stone in the beginning of the dealing with the virus. And then also 3/20/22, the 133-year-old Eiffel Tower, which happens to be this year, 133, got a 6-meter antenna put on the top of it by helicopter. It says it's supposed to be digital radio. It's supposed to help transmit digital radio throughout Paris, but we all know that's probably just a little piece of it. All right, so on 3/22/22, the DC Mormon Temple was to hold the first public tours in 48 years. It was a long time. And then 3/30/22, China was to launch their Einstein probe in 2023 to observe violent cosmic events, which we also know that's probably not the full truth. And that was from spacenews.com. And then 4/1/22, the Montefiore doctor and Einstein medical students donate feminine hygiene products to Ukrainian women. And that was from norwoodnews.org. So then I was asking, I didn't feel anything was hugely significant, although it was important about President Washington, that he wanted to keep things neutral, but everyone else ended up separating into parties. So what more came up about Washington? So I pulled out my Lenormand deck and started pulling cards to see if there was any more information. Did I miss anything? And so I asked about Washington first, and what came out was the story about the cherry tree being cut down. Because he admitted his guilt, he was praised by his father, and we just talked about this yesterday, about kids being afraid to speak the truth because of what's going to happen to them with their parents, with their teachers, whoever it is, they're going to get in trouble with. But because he was honest and upfront about what he did, he was praised by his father. And of course, that's a story. They don't actually know if it's a real story, but it doesn't matter. It's a nice story. So it's paralleling the energy that we were talking about yesterday. So that was important. And also I was getting, regarding that story, a pushy mother had something to do with this. Either pushing George to tell the truth to his father, or the pushy mother had something to do with the father being gentle on him if he tells the truth. So there was a mother involved there. And then I asked about the unicorn. So what is coming up about the unicorn chasing the horse into union, basically? And the twin bridges came, the letter, the twin bridges, the fox, the ship, the whip, the sun, the loving man, direction, and the well came up, along with the underlying energy of time. And the snake was the last card. It was coming up as the King of Cups in a time crunch in the underlying energy, and then inspired by a risky letter or document or song, and a document to cross the twin bridges with the Queen of Cups, as the fox wounded warrior leaves the hen house for that higher love, to abundant travel or to end the pain, or the Empress Gaia, or spaceships and arcs, and cracking the whip, perhaps with the Page of Wands or a child, to expose chaos and drama, and or offer a new life with the loving man, twin flame with new love, with the Two of Cups direction, and self-love diving deep with poison, Queen of Wands, or question about that apple tree or the cherry tree. All right, so those were the questions that came up. And then I have a message of the day for you guys too. Let me just make sure there's nothing else here. Yeah, no. All right, so the message of the day, I'll show you that picture. So here's my message of the day. This is a 4-deck read. It's the animal spirit, wild unknown animal spirit deck at the top. Then we have the Lenormand Reverie, the Gilded, and then the Kipper deck. It starts here with the underlying energies, this pile, this pile, this pile, this pile, and then these two down here. That's the order it goes into. Okay, so this was done at 4:46 to 51 yesterday afternoon, the message of the day. The underlying energy was the cheetah, the bridges. I was just getting britches too, and that was my sister-in-law's father said to me when I first started connecting with some of my past fathers and friends' fathers. So britches, somebody might use that term. Cheetah, bridges, the Knight of Wands, and coffin. On your marks, hypnotized, or just off the bridges, or britches, from the Wounded Warrior's service or funeral, which was interesting. What I just quoted to you was coming up from his funeral. So when my sister-in-law's father passed away, this was many years ago, he started connecting with me during the service. And it was one of the first times I was really fully connecting. And so here comes a funeral service again. The bat is lost in space. The beaver is at the dam. The butterfly is with sea legs, and the turtle is slow in falling behind. The fish is out of water and focused on the truth in the purple moon and the throat chakra and the speaking your truth as the cheetah is about to pounce on it. And that pouncing energy of this cheetah was the same energy I was getting with the unicorn. Like ready, like on the mark and ready to go. So ready and waiting for the truth to come out. The storks are nesting the dream here with the King of Cups in a time crunch, exposing all the chaos and grounding and integrating the details, taking a closer look. Perhaps a romantic puppy there is waiting for a lead or to be taken for a walk. With any luck with the High Priestess, Queen of Cups, in crossing twin bridges, and sunshine or exposure of third party and the Page of Pentacles, perhaps curious bird down on their knees praying the dark birds go away, or praying for divorce, or for spirituality, or alternative connection with the Wounded Warrior on the other side. Inspired by extra income or unexpected incoming, with abundant marriage to thief or empress and Queen of Wands and mother or mature woman, or thief who stole her heart, and now offering a dream, a gift, but with concerns of martyring oneself, with the Lady in Wait, or with expectations, perhaps of a big house and a laborer, or room for a daughter, or to work, and hermiting changes in adjudication of a house or union according to message or will, the vehicle of instruction exposed upon death at 519. So there may be something about that, instructions upon death, which is just a change over, right, to another dimension, a shift. And getting it's like getting instructions at the Y in the road. So we have 519, which is the Hierophant and the Sun. The dragonfly, the sea serpent, and the bee. A break in the seal, allowing the dragonfly and the bees in. The dragonfly, remember that two as one energy as they mate. They become a heart, literally pulsing, with the family tree dropping the ball in the chaos of perhaps the healthcare industry. The sea serpent is inspired by a note or a document, and the King of Wands on the journey of despair, or the pair. The busy bee with sudden event, or Scorpio King of Cups reversed, and a wealthy man in transition, or he is that wealthy man in transition at 530, which is the Hierophant and the Union, or home. Breaking patterns, or dropping the act. The King of Wands upright and the King of Cups reversed, with Taurus and Scorpio there. The second section is the buffalo, the otter, and the dolphin. The buffalo comes up as very grounded and heavenly too in the book, actually. But it was coming up as grounded and lovely, and the otter curious, the dolphin friendly. The buffalo home where the buffalo roam is coming up here too. So buffalo is home in energetic exchange and courtship. As the otter, it is abundant energetic exchange, or the arrows of love, or just a lot of communication or travel back and forth, ending the nightmare with a false person, or the need for a mask, perhaps someone's sick, so they're wearing a mask, or the dance of the tango of the parent and the child, or being cheated in life, or feeling that way. The dolphin Knight of Wands committed to deception with main male, of new moon commitment here, or new moon commitment, and energetic exchange, or the arrows of love, ending stress in the early morning with Aries and then Cancer reversed, as well as Leo and Gemini coming up here. The third section is the horse, the stingray, and the owl. All plugged in, the horse with the child in transition, with a choice of path, or the High Priestess main female, stingray tuned, what did I write? They're literally tuned in to the Knight of Cups, taking a risk to tell the truth to romantic little girl. The owl with Page of Cups, vulnerable, getting over exile or illness, or the Wounded Warrior's path, at 5:48, the Hierophant and the Eight of Cups of walking away and within. The twin flame truth, just to get over it, and Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer here as well as Sagittarius. The fourth section is the firefly and the starfish and the fox. Fleeting inspiration of superficial star and fox, the firefly, wounded warrior, pulling up anchor as Atlas is leaving the wounded warrior behind, the Knight of Cups with community, family, and the starfish with a choice of path. Insecure, without tools, the mature man accepting their limitations. It's okay, it's just delivery. So the fox, power man, and the Knight of Swords reversed on a high vibe journey here, burdened by manipulation or manipulator of the Knight of Swords reversed, perhaps Libra here. Sagittarius, Aries, Gemini or Virgo reversed, and Taurus here as well. The fifth section is Scorpio, Unicorn, the Camel, and the Worm, where Scorpio has their stinger out with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, perhaps with an unstable home or house, and the Unicorn, power lady, a prisoner of love. The Camel's independent yet blue on the journey at the new moon with good news leading the way, inspired by great fortune. The Worm with a breakthrough but uncomfortable, with or as the wise privileged lady. Unstable prisoner leading the way through discomfort here at 6:14, which is the Lovers, and then that Temperance card of patience and balance, but also that higher love. Scorpio with empty room and lover, and Golden Globe perhaps are famous. So I don't know what's on TV these days or when the Golden Globes are, but that kind of energy was coming up there. And at 6:15, which is the Lovers and the Devil, which are the same card in dark and light, the sixth section here is the Lamb, the dear one, with the spider web, hyena, wolf, and octopus between them. The Lamb with a mountain to climb, with negative self-talk, perhaps aligning with sudden wealth and hitting the jackpot. The spider web of magic deliverance, the fallen angel with a message of concern, and the hyena, Queen of Wands, reflecting the Knight of Cups, perhaps McDreamy in court, or the King of Wands with legal papers, as the wolf is stunned by the hermit with flowers and gifts, destined to high honors, and the octopus-loving lady is holding back an announcement until the ship is grounded. The doe-eyed dear one with Atlas burdens, sharing or settling out, imprisoned at present with mouths, and the King of Cups walking away impoverished. Perhaps the official man is now on the fool's journey with sudden thoughts of a woman here, occupied by that energetic exchange or hours of love, or working in a very busy occupation, or perhaps sewing pieces together. At 6:21, the Lovers and the World, the completion. So now we go back to the twin flame read, and this was done at 11:11. Okay, so right at 11:11 is when I cut the deck for the SIRIAN Starseed deck for the read in front of you on the table. And let me show you the picture of that before I forget to do that. Okay, so here's the basic read from the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And then here's the 7 deck read. Okay. Okay, so 11:11 was the time of the read. And then 11:22 of crystals came up. So again, of being Christ-like or purging perhaps. And then tails came up as well, but T-A-L-S. That can be talls as well, like the tall people, like a group. Or that can be coming up like the talisman I'm getting as well. Perhaps someone has a crystal kind of talisman thing. I finished clarifying at 11:38, which is the 38:11 of the Queen of Cups. So a lot of 11s right here. It was 11 o'clock. And then the major arcana were Reason of the Emperor, Alchemy, which is the Temperance card, Indigo, which is the Magician. And after the read, the Strength and Lovers cards. There were 2 wands, 3 pentacles, 2 cups, 1 sword. And by the way, I didn't sleep last night, so if I'm a little loopy, I apologize. The court cards for this read were Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. And the the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. The numbers, we had triple fours and triple nines, as well as double fives, sixes, and tens. So a lot of multiples of numbers. The triple fours, of course, that angelic energy. The 55 of the Truth, Excalibur. The 66 of the Queen of Pentacles. The 3 nines is very much about very high vibe compassion and endings, completions. The Hermit and the collective consciousness. And then the 10 tens again of that very high vibration. We have the 8 9 of the Phi energy of expanding or contracting, or staying in the middle, reflecting instead. We have the 1 of the Magician here, significant, as well as the 14 of the Temperance card, 45 of the 5 of Cups and purging, 56 also of the 2 of Swords, keeping your energy clear, 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and then 9 10 begin again. 49 comes up here too, which is the Get Your Wish card of the 49, the 9 of Cups. The code line was all about abundance and time out, and it was broken up into abundance, and then Tim, E, out, which could be Timmy out, but some other stuff came up around that as well. And the numbers were 13 from 9 and 4. And of course, 13 is the Death or Transition card. The code line came up as expanding and contracting, or reflecting in the middle. Sophia, Source, again, Sophia coming up, jumps and leaps and flies, perhaps with 9 wise adepts, or perhaps the 9. Or this could be a grandmother, the Queen, and then the Knight, which could be 3 generations of women as well. And then the 4 of Cups of being bored or apathetic, or just grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love. And the I cloud, abundance coming up, perhaps a heart and energy out, that heart energy out. I don't even like to say fisting, but the fisting, that word came up, which a lot of negative energy came up with that, like really bad. And then it was coming up without I am, without the I am presence. The enemy, dangerous, 9-inch nails, or man. The Hermit, Queen, clear, wise, Knight, or good, wise Queen here. Grounding, integrating, and mastering the I am presence. Above the cloud dance, so in a very high vibration. Also to steam, perhaps the E out is ironing as well. Or time out, literally time. E, and whatever E relates to you, E is out. And of course, it could just be time out. So, time out and abundance. So perhaps a dirty message, or TIFO, something dirty in TIFO that comes up. Grandmother and the 9, the Queens and Adepts. Or the man, hermit, sage, or knight, grounding and integrating and mastering, or at the gym, I am. The cloud dance, so again, using online stuff and storing stuff in the cloud. The cloud dance and time out. And then also the clan, fun, knowledge, information, and source to follow, to leap up, to become shortened in dimension, to the 9 wise adepts and knights. And the Knights of the Round Table could be coming up here as well as the Knights Templar. And grounding, integrating, and mastering the I am, the cloud dancer of abundance. And then again, Timmy out, or to build, E out. So that could be a type of build as well. So the 4 of Wands upright. The 4 of Wands upright here in the underlying energy, right here with the mini cards on top. And below that card, 5 cards down is the 5 of Cups reversed, the 6 of Cups upright, the 10 of Pentacles upright, the 6 of Swords reversed, and the 9 of Swords reversed. So getting over grief or loss, regret or guilt, or fond memories, a soulmate, a past life connection, loving children of the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, community, in need of peace to end the nightmare with home and union. The Page of Wands inspired by dreams, healing, stars, and the Knight of Swords reversed, perhaps lashing out at the King of Swords, Libra, or just destined to be at 1 o'clock, which is a lot of source energy backing up the Magician. Home was Scorpio reversed, Aquarius reversed, and the Queen of Wands reversed, trying to end the suffering in silence, or perhaps ending things with a sister, perhaps, but without options. And the Wounded Warrior is upright, the Hierophant or Taurus, and the King of Swords are all upright right here, but without options but to guard the church, the dogma, the religion or establishment, the societal, I can't even talk, the societal norms, to the King of Swords with 16 channels on. So he could be, dealing with people who channel and willing to fight for them as well, the King of Swords here. Oh, and by the way, the movie that came up is Kardec, which was about, people who were first, coming together in groups about doing psychic work. And of course, how they could get in a lot of trouble for doing that kind of stuff. And that had to do with Professor Reveille, who passed on March 31st, 1869. That was Kardec. I'd seen that before. I watched it again since I was up all night. But 108 is the Magician and the dance of manifestation of dreams. And the Page of Wands guarded at home with the Queen of Wands reversed Taurus. So it could be a mother and child not getting along. Or this could be a Scorpio reversed as well. And the King of Swords Libra or Aquarius. And men bowing down to another, like a religious leader or someone in power. The Savior and their victims. The perpetrator and their victims. Peter Pan, the Pope, and the general were coming up here, right? So the Pope is the Savior, the general is the perpetrator, right? The army. And then and then Peter Pan, right? Who's that victim in the middle who with flights of fancy. The soldier with armor and sword. The Pope, and I wrote Pop by accident. The Pope who's Pop with cloak and antenna, like an artificial thing they need to connect to God as opposed to within. And then Peter Pan of the Jester's Court with nothing but the clothes on his back and a connection to Source. If he would just let go of his wounds, the perp, the Savior, and the monk key in the middle. The one in the middle, the victim, is the key. All they have to do is shift and take the power away from the perpetrator and the Savior. And that's how you become empowered. The monkey in the middle that just needs to turn or shift that key for all to change. The Page of Swords reversed, spying and lying and spreading rumors and clinging to negative self-talk. With the Sovereign reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, perhaps sisters or mother and child or two earth signs here. And the Page of Wands child siding with the King of Swords, Libra or Aquarius, and the Page of Swords reversed child to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, Taurus, perhaps with Scorpio reversed as well. So there's separation here, and beneath that was let your friends help you. As the Ten of Wands is upright, perhaps someone caught in the woods or caught with their pants down, with the King of Cups reversed and the High Priestess upright, perhaps with the keys, and that maybe someone got caught with the realtor. But again, bubble blowers were coming up here and clamps, so God knows what people were doing. And then in a heated exchange or arguing ensued over dumping multiple loads or emotional attachments, no longer confused or seen as fantasizing. As the King of Cups reversed and the High Priestess and the monk key in the middle, or the King of Cups reversed is a Pisces, burdened and unable to express his feelings, cracking codes, causing petty arguing and or delays, but no longer confused about tossing the good book for love. Perhaps large turned-in feet are coming up here, and jingling ankle bracelets, feet on the cat, and then in the fruit basket, right? So gross, that's poop in the food. And the bird feeder also, while passionate, perhaps not paying attention in the yard or the park where they're putting their feet before they put it in the fruit basket, or foot play as foreplay. But the turtle is too slow to romance, so female took up with someone else, the gardener or the pool boy, or someone at the spa or country club in the sauna. Health comes up here with 71, which is that Three of Pentacles, perhaps any place of co-creation. And then beneath that, personal growth, which also can be personal growth or an ultrasound, at 132, which is the Magician and the Journey. So home, the Wounded Warrior surrenders to or about the Page of Cups, dumping a load or purging and crying, or just overwhelmed, or dumping the Ten of Pentacles family, business or community or legacy and workplace on the Queen of Wands reversed. Perhaps there's an imp in the 10 of Pentacles or the legacy money there. The man with his tools and the Queen of Wands reversed may be pissed off about both of these things, that he got the lathe or the oven, and that little scoundrel with all the money as the turtle was too slow to get there at 137, the Magician and the King of Cups. Or the Page of Cups is overwhelmed by responsibilities of the 10 of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles business, dumping responsibilities on the Queen of Wands reversed. The Queen of Wands reversed may be home with the King of Swords upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed in separation, dumping multiple loads in emotional attachments or yard sale, and all must go, perhaps health related or healthcare or business related with personal growth, and then walking away, perhaps after ghosted, Pisces or High Priestess starting over in love. At 141 is the Magician and the 41 of the Ace of Cups of self-love, spiritual love, new love. And since I was up all night, I've watched a couple movies, and I watched The Blind Side again, which I love that movie. It's so inspiring. And of course, about Michael. And so here it was coming up somebody feeling weak or sick or in need of strength or courage. Or like in the movie, Michael was down on his luck. He was homeless without a place to change or shower, you know, all that kind of stuff. Feeling weak or sick or in need of strength, courage, or good health. And the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups reversed, walking away from draining or out of control kids or pets to get a rest or a break, or to 5D connect in a heated exchange, or to argue away from the kids. Regarding an offer of passion from the world upside down, or Pisces reversed, or Divine Feminine in 5D, implementing a plan for unhappy family, or to end an emotional cycle of unhappiness, or Divine Feminine investing in their own emotional fulfillment at 146, the Magician and the 6 of Cups, the inner children, or outer children, being loving to each other. And the Ace of Swords upright, the ground is groundbreaking here, with the truth laying just below the surface, and the Queen of Swords speaking to or about those 6 of Cups soulmates or children, inner or outer. The loving children are happy memories of the wounded warrior on guard, no longer confused about third party at night, with the King of Pentacles reversed, or the howling dogs of the full moon. The King of Pentacles reversed, lying or spying or negative self-talk, and not responding to a disconnect or a connection that's at a distance, with the Emperor reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, dumping a load on the Queen of Swords, or sweating out the truth. Or the King of Pentacles reversed with a negative message about a breakup of the King of Pentacles reversed and the Emperor reversed, which can be a couple or partners. That could be father and son as well. Or them with or those two are breaking up with the Queen of Swords. And the foundation is the 8 of Pentacles upright, working to align with bridging good news on the journey to detox and swallow their pride, with the Queen of Wands reversed. Or Cappy and Aquarius both reversed at Atlas are burdened by getting burned, radiated, drained, or overexposed, in need of vacation, or kids and pets out of control, dropping the ball, the ad, or breaking patterns here, or dropping the act, or no longer covering for the Queen of Wands anymore, reversed. The central energy is the Knight of Pentacles upright, the loyal, humble servant, offering the Ace of Pentacles of time, money, and energy, or perhaps a new life, to free the Knight of Swords reversed from unending work. The challenge being the 4 of Cups, of wishing on a star, left out to sea, successful journeyman knocked off his high horse after offering their time, money, and effort, or battling their presents or gifts, rescuing or receiving a passionate offer from healing chariot, Cancer, or warrior in pursuit of gifts. High Priestess upright, Queen of Cups reversed, getting over loss, getting over self. The 2 of Wands reversed, perhaps there's no meal here or just nowhere to go, with the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and not wanting to eat with them perhaps, or stuck eating with them because you can't find a place to go out. And the fantasy family here, destined to bliss now that the worst is over, of men and multiple women, or just affectionate with everyone, healing heartbreak or their difficult childhood, and the bliss of the Page of Wands who's inspired, and the King of Wands reversed, who may have been a patient angel until now, standing up for or to the Page of Pentacles. And now crowning is the Emperor reversed, the big guy, or the big guy abusing their power or falling or stepping down, at home taking the high ground, feeling weak or rejected. This can be someone who's sick or ill as well. Seeing synchronicities or heaven in their eyes, with options in the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Empress upright. And here are the Emperor and the Empress. The Emperor's reversed and the Empress is upright together here at 302, which is the Empress and the High Priestess. And the Emperor and Empress are with the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed. So that could literally be grandparents, the Queen of Wands' mom, and their two kids, unless the Queen of Wands is just an older sibling from the other two. The Queen of Wands reversed sharing with the Knight of Wands. That can also be, at work, partners with the people who are younger working for them. The Queen of Wands reversed is sharing with the Knight of Wands upright, lover, or great affection, with a sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange. And the Page of Pentacles may be hurting themselves or trying too hard to be perfect, implementing a plan to ground and integrate justice, perhaps sleeping on it to take it all in before deciding or reacting. And then the Three of Wands being present to romantic tie or sudden jealous rage without options, or explosive energy and suddenly awake and aware, breaking patterns. There's no surprise here in a heated exchange with the Ten of Cups reversed, perhaps a group of obnoxious people, perhaps insecure without tools, or manipulative, suffering in silence, or a sister, or stressed out trying to end the nightmare here. The King of Wands reversed may be a Sagittarius standing up to the Page of Pentacles, and soon here is alchemy at the game, or the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, which can be, any kind of large or wealthy community. And the Knight of Pentacles, a servant of, offering help to the Divine Feminine in 5D, or Pisces reversed, or the upside down world, or the need for closure here, or at play. The patient angel, perhaps losing it with the Page of Pentacles, with sudden show of his devilish side, or detoxing kids' attitude to get over himself, right? This is also, kids who be bad kids who are being disrespectful and basically putting them in check. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Nine of Wands wounded warrior and the Queen of Wands reversed. The wounded warrior dissatisfied, knowing, and keeping to themselves, or in need of peace post-war, or now the worst is over, with the King of Wands reversed and the Empress reversed, at odds about how to recover from exile, injury, or illness, with Sag and Taurus reversed here. We have the soulmate coming up here, healing family issues, and free yourself, as well as flirt, passion, and wedding. The situation involves marriage, at 330, which is the Empress and the Union. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Hierophant at work, walking away and within. Perhaps church versus state, with Taurus upright versus Aries reversed, competing for university or hospital, business, or sports. Or the Empress reversed, with the King of Wands reversed versus the Emperor reversed, with the institution. And the block being the Indigo reversed, perhaps someone refusing or taking back an offer, with Justice and the Page of Cups upright and the Page of Pentacles upright. Suddenly the Page of Pentacles is bigger for some reason. Time out, abundance, but even more so surrender here. There's no physical reunion here, or that can just be a lack of joy, right, with partiers and not wanting to get together with bad influences. And the Knight of Pentacles offering something healthier instead, or third-party friendship, and the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave opening up, ending an emotional cycle of unhappiness, while the Hermit's recovering from exile, too weak to break through to the other side. And the blind side I was watching last night. With lover powerless, or counting on them running away, because that's how the past was, or lying, cheating, or stealing here. Home after recovering from loss or regret, the Six of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles, loving children in a wealthy family, business, or community, in need of peace after a tough time. Home working on aligning as the wounded warrior and the Queen of Cups reversed, and their truth that may be just below the surface and perhaps needs a little, the petals or the onion layers being pulled back there. Of the Knight of Pentacles, the humble offer here, perhaps of prayers, or feeling like an island to oneself, and alchemizing the indigo taking back an offer without reason, or the Emperor reversed letting go and opening up to the Ten of Cups reversed in a need for emotional fulfillment between the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave coming out and the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower coming out, needing strength and courage to be lovers without dependency or without running away at 421, which is the Emperor and the World. Home with the truth of the Queen of Wands reversed, and working with the Knight of Pentacles without a father, or Emperor reversed who may be an unreasonable man. The challenge being here, grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, especially receiving it, or the gym, and alchemizing, blending a lost indigo after multiple offers, or finally with justice, the Divine Masculine's heat, only fulfilled by the Divine, it's not heat, it's heart, the Divine Masculine's heart, only fulfilled by the Divine Feminine's heart. I guess that could be heat too, but it was supposed to be heart. Perhaps weakened by lover and powerless when running, or when feels like they're running, needing to be strong and empowered and yet dependent on each other, yet depend on each other at the same time. The King of Pentacles offered the truth of union, home and work, and that could be homework too. The Wounded Warrior Sagittarius and the Queen of Cups reversed, Virgo or Gemini. The Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine with unreasonable Emperor reversed, or Ten of Cups reversed family between them in need of strength, or divine lovers ready to pave the way at 428, which is the Emperor and the Twin Flames. So there is your read. Oops, sorry about that. Let's pull a few cards, see what comes up. I feel like pulling an animal deck card, so let's go ahead and do that. It's 5:45, the Hierophant and the Purge. Take another deep breath. It was just 56, 57 on the clock, which is the Two of Swords into the Three of Swords, which is that knowing and keeping to yourself, or pretending not to know so you don't have to deal with something, and then going into that separation energy of feeling heartbroken or disappointed, or perhaps bad weather. But the weather's much better today. Still a little bit chilly out, but it was nice and sunny and not crazy windy anymore. I think I'm definitely going to go to the beach the next sunny day. I'm craving the beach and the salt air. All right, let's see what the animal spirit deck has for you guys. Take a deep breath. Okay, we have the elk. So remember, the elk, maybe a hothead, or maybe they're a redhead, or maybe they got a temper. But remember, in the deck, they talk about the elk being a great guy, except for if he doesn't eat properly, he can be really arrogant and a jerk. So any of those can come up here with the worm, who's easily intimidated. So this could be a child who's very intimidated by this one when he's not eating properly. Okay? This could also be someone who dyed their hair and it came out wrong. So we have the wise one over here for counsel for the worm when this one's not available. And then we have the deer one as well here, very sweet and doe-eyed. And then the heavenly buffalo, who's very well grounded, to kind of lean over this way when this one's not in the mood. And these guys are sideways paying attention, but these guys are really paying attention. And this one's perhaps keeping to themselves, right? They don't want to know, they're not ready to know. But these two are paying attention, the deer and the owl. Perhaps someone who's older or wiser, or a hoot, along with someone who's more innocent and doe-eyed, and then someone really well grounded, but yet heavenly too, perhaps to help the elk when he needs a break because he needs to eat better. And there's the mouse who's there with the prisoner, and the beaver, who are both struggling with the energies here. The beaver's fine. The mouse is struggling more. The mouse tends to be nervous though, but the beaver is very hardworking and is happy to do so. And then we have the elephant in the dark here too, clearing the way for them because they're really big, right? Just one step is so much easier for the mouse and the beaver because they're so much smaller than the elephant. So this could be a big helping some littles. clear the way for them, right? So it's not so tough. And that could be a parent, a grandparent, or perhaps someone in charge, like a teacher or a principal. Talk about teachers, right? When the student is ready, the teacher comes. That's the Cobra's energy, or MO. Okay? So that's as far as we're going to go. When the student is ready, the teacher will come. And it looks like there's definitely those situations here. These two groups can literally, I just showed, could literally be kids at school with teachers in different classrooms. Or perhaps homeschooling stuff too. Okay, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. And the Cobra also has to do with the Kundalini completing its rise over the head, right, to the illumination. The bottom of the deck is the lizard, who gets, a little drained being in crowds. They're very delicate that way. And then the moth, who doesn't think before they jump and leap into the flame, right? So they still need some practice at this. Okay, and the crow is still standing 3D guard here for those who aren't quite ready yet to ascend. And then let's see what we have with the journey of love. Journey of love. What is our takeaway today? What is our takeaway? That came right up. The yin yang lover, 8 is the dance again. And there she is, bending over backwards more than she's ever done before, practicing for the biggest bend of her life. And she loves. Okay, this is about the dance, and this is about taking a risk to love yourself first. So before bending over backwards, love yourself first. And then there's the Mary Magdalene energy of carrying the weight of the world. The 41 of self-love, spiritual love, and new love. Knowing without knowing. Right? Not being afraid. And they're very different positions of the feminine, right? Here she's bending over backwards. Here she's very relaxed. And here she's hard at work. And here she is the moon, where we come to completion with the 21. And then next to that is the Christ flame, as Easter's coming up here. We always get a lot of Jesus coming up around Easter here. So all the different parts of the feminine, something in the way she moves. So it's coming up regarding the masculine's perspective of the feminine, all that she is, all the different parts that she is. Okay? Taking the risk, doing the dance, loving not only herself but others, and then also whole and complete. She is the moon, or the purple moon. She is where the power is. And the bottom of the deck is the legacy of light, and there's Jesus again, holding, I always see this as a sleeping bag, but it's like holding the light and perhaps someone who's in need of help. That legacy of light, of being there for others, and the 53 of the Knight of Swords, of messenger of truth, and the knight in shining armor. And there's the lovers, but we also have the separation energy here, or disappointment. This also can be, connection and separation. Looking up at the sky, and again, there's that energy of the chakra. You see the swirls are in a lot of the pictures here, but you see how it matches there. It's a little bit bigger in this card, though. This is more the reality, and this is more of the etheric realm energy. And so it's it's like Jesus is getting ready to ground things. He's got his camping gear, right? And a kid, perhaps, getting ready to bring the union into the reality. Okay. There's some tunnels here being, a bunch of cards in a row are like tunnels being cleared after that. So after the Christ flame comes up here, which is the 31 of chaos, and transmuting, transforming, transcending the chaos, we then have the tunnel here, right? It's like, looks like a huge tunnel underground where the 3 are complete here, 3 to 1, in that high vibe energy of the 10 here of destiny. And then we also have contemplation of the feminine here, deep in contemplation after being in this space. And then here's another tunnel type energy of the choice to make, of imprisoning yourself or not imprisoning yourself. And then again, here's another tunnel of the womb. You see how they kind of there's a decrescendo here, going into the ovaries here, the spiral dance of the goddess, and again, the strangulation of the feminine, the imprisonment of the feminine, the underground imprisonment of the feminine again. So again, it's reminding the feminine not to assume anything will happen because of the past, but also not allow themselves to overthink things or assume that something will be imprisoning, or if something is trying to imprison you, to not accept that you're worth more than that, to remember those energies here, okay? So all that you are, as the masculine sees you here, is also all that you must be to stand in your power, okay? And not be the prisoner. This could be offering too much, right? Because the 69 is the Ace of Pentacles, of offering time, money, and energy in new life. This is the high vibe energy. And now what, right? Then it goes into life, right? Don't offer too much. Don't imprison yourself in the Eight of Swords, okay? And be present, but also don't strangle your femininity, which is strangling the ovaries here, right? Don't cut off your, right? Even though you need to be tough and stand up for yourself, don't choke your femininity either. This is the dance between the masculine and feminine, the dance between the 3D and the 5D. And just learning how to do that between you. That's all it is. Just trial and error. Back and forth. Without, right, getting triggered by every little thing that is said that may rub you the wrong way or hurt your feelings, and just trusting your own instinct. Because as soon as you feel that insecurity, your twin feels it, and that's what causes the twin, dance, that issue. So if you stay in your power and just stay confident, things go much smoother. So let's go ahead and read. We had the elk there who looks like he's struggling a bit because he can be a hothead at times. All right, elk in the beginning. Stable, resilient, headstrong, the father. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. And again, grounding this masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. When they're in balance, they're supportive, kind, and consistent. When they're out of balance, they're pretentious, high and mighty. To bring back into balance, eat and drink more consciously. So there's the energy for the elk. And then from the journey of love, the first card out is the yin-yang lover, this one here. So number 8. The force of attraction is stronger than your conscious control. There's no need to fight this inner genius. You can learn to speak its language instead. What is it that captures you, that pulls you close, that holds so much light for you? Why fight it? Don't step away from what you really love to grab hold of a second prize. Why not claim your first prize? It's there waiting for you. It is yours alone, beloved. No one else can claim your own divine birthright for you. Be yielding and let your desire fill your body, your heart, and your mind. You don't have to fight for what is already yours. It will come to you through the field of attraction that emanates from your own heart. It is not a question of worthiness or deservedness. It is not a question of trying to work out what you need or want. Your heart always knows. Listen. And if you still can't hear, then just feel. You'll get the gist of it soon enough. This oracle has a message for you, no matter whether you seem to be heading closer to your goal or further away. You are making real spiritual progress, and what you want is the same thing that is wanting you. What you are seeking is seeking you. It's only a matter of time before you get it. The moment when to fill my heart again is measured not in time or sweet remorse, nor tears that wash away unbridled pain, or morning's light which sings its soft retort. Such love is slept through storm and winters long. No call could break the stillness's embrace. or hasten change before the season's song unfurls its melody in words so chaste. Empowered thus I feel myself compelled to cast aside emotions dormant still. My feelings spoke from depths the answer welled. No need to past the emptiness to fill. At one our touch has opened new hearts, or opened hearts anew. Of patience born, there waits a love so true. Okay, so the Yin Yang Lover too with the 8 is all about the dance. So get ready to tango. Remember to drink some water and get some rest. Get some joy in nature, or just do what you want to do. And rise and be love, or love and rise. See ya. Bye.